speaking from the welfare team, and we're speaking with Marion.
Kia ora, I'm Catherine Coates and I'm the Group Welfare Manager here at Marlborough Civil Defence. My role is making sure that when people have needs that they can't meet any other way, that we support them with that. Everything we're doing in response is looking at how do we help people move on from this. During response, for example, we had people who needed to evacuate and we provided accommodation for those people. We will be providing food to a couple of really isolated communities, one for example in the Awatere Valley, and will be for quite a long time. We encourage people to support themselves, support their families, support their neighbours. Sometimes that involves thinking around the corner a little bit. Can we get supplies by water rather than by road? By and large, people are really adaptable and do that really well. If they can't, then we do stand up and support. People only have to get in touch with us and we'll talk it through. We also work with our GIS team. They're the people who do really clever things with maps so that we can actually get a visual picture of where things are happening.
So GIS stands for Geographic Information System, so we basically try and paint a picture of what is going on and whereabouts it is. The map that you can see behind me is using our Quick Capture application. But basically we can take a picture at a specific point and that is geographically located on a map. So that's really helpful for use for welfare, for where they need to look as to where the needs might be. We get a whole lot of information coming in from DOC, from the community, from other agencies and organisations, so we can get those photos, add them onto this map as well, and that helps create an even bigger picture than what we already have. So people can find the most up-to-date roading information on the Marlborough District Council website. There's a link on the main page that you can go to the public emergency map, and on here you can see where all the local road closures are, and we get that feeding from NZTA and from Marlborough Roads.
It keeps inspiring me just how resourceful people are in Marlborough and how people work together to support themselves and each other. It's really impressive.